Hi everyone and welcome back to Seoul Bite. We are making fresh kimchi today. If you have ever tried to make traditional Korean kimchi at home, you know it can feel like a big project. Fresh kimchi is so much easier than that. No long fermentation, no complicated steps, and you can eat it the same day you make it. Let me show you how I make it. For today's recipe, I am using 2 heads of Napa cabbage. For the seasoning, you will need about 7 tablespoons of Korean red pepper flakes, coarse sea salt for salting the cabbage, and a little bit of fine salt for adjusting the taste later. You will also need 1 apple, half an onion, 2 tablespoons of sugar, about 10 cloves of garlic, and just a tiny piece of ginger, only enough for a little bit of aroma, and green onions. You will also need some plum extract and fish sauce. Let me start with the cabbage. I am using whole Napa cabbage today, so I cut each one in half. Then I hold on to the core at the bottom and slice it off. Once the core is out, the leaves come apart one by one very easily. Now I am going to cut the leaves into pieces. Koreans tend to like their fresh kimchi cut a little long and a little big. That is the traditional way. But if you prefer smaller pieces, you can cut them in half lengthwise first and then across, whatever size is comfortable for you to eat in one bite. Just keep in mind that once the cabbage gets salted, it shrinks quite a bit, so I always cut mine on the bigger side. Here is my favorite trick for fresh kimchi. Instead of salting the cabbage first and then cutting it later, I cut and salt at the same time. So I put some cut cabbage into the bowl, sprinkle coarse salt over it, splash a little cold water on top, and then keep going. More cabbage, more salt, more water. If your bowl feels like it is getting too full, just switch to a bigger bowl as you go. I always say that with kimchi, the salting and the rinsing is about 80% of the work. This is where the flavor and the texture come from, so take your time here. For the thicker, tougher parts near the stem, I cut those into smaller pieces so they salt evenly. The thin leafy parts I just cut once or twice, and if you see any dark spots or damaged bits on the leaves, just trim those off and throw them away. Now for the second head of cabbage, we are doing the exact same thing. Cut it in half, slice off the core at the bottom, pull the leaves apart, cut them into pieces, and layer them into the bowl with some salt and a splash of cold water as you go. Same process, just keep building it up. Once all the cabbage is cut and in the bowl, I sprinkle the rest of the salt on top and mix everything gently, bringing the pieces from the bottom up to the top so the salt reaches every piece. You want to be careful not to bruise the cabbage, so just a light toss. Now the cabbage needs to sit for about 2 to 3 hours, and during that time you have to come back every now and then and flip it. Bring the bottom pieces up to the top so everything gets salted evenly. That part is important. About 2 hours have gone by now. You can see how much water has come out of the cabbage, even though I only added 3 cups of water at the start. That is a good sign. To check if it is ready, take one of the thicker pieces and try to fold it. If it bends softly without snapping, it is done. If it still snaps when you bend it, it needs more time. Now it is time to rinse. I pour off all the salty water that goes in the sink, and then I rinse the cabbage in fresh cold water. Be gentle here. Don't squeeze it too hard or the cabbage will get crushed. I rinse about 3 times in a colander until the water runs clean. Once it is rinsed, I let the cabbage drain in the colander for about 1 hour. This part really matters. How well you drain the water off the cabbage, how thoroughly, how long you wait. That makes a real difference in how the kimchi tastes at the end. So give it the full hour, don't rush it. While the cabbage is draining, I will get the seasoning ready. I take the apple, cut it up, and take out the core. Then into the blender it goes, along with half an onion, the garlic, and that little piece of ginger. The blender will not run with just that, so I add a splash of fish sauce to help it blend, and then I blend it all into a nice smooth paste. I also cut up some green onions, about this much, you can see. Set those aside. Now the cabbage has drained for an hour and it is ready. I put it into a big mixing bowl, add the green onions, pour in the apple onion garlic paste from the blender. Next, I take the cabbage that has been draining for an hour and put it into the mixing bowl. Sprinkle the red pepper flakes on top and add the sugar. For mixing, if you go to a Korean market, you can find these long kitchen gloves that go all the way up your arm. Those are perfect for this. Don't rub or press the kimchi when you mix. Use both hands and lift from the bottom up, kind of like you are fluffing it. Gentle, scooping motions over and over until the red pepper color is spread evenly through all the cabbage. Now I add the plum extract, about 2 good pours. That gives it a nice natural sweetness and rounds out the flavor. Time to taste. This is the moment where you adjust. If it tastes a little bland, remember we have the fine salt standing by. That is what that was for. The cabbage is already salted from before, so you should never add salt at the start of the mixing, only at the end after tasting. If you want it a little more savory, you can add another spoonful of fish sauce at this point too. Everyone's taste is different, so season it the way you like it. Okay, that is the taste I want, done. For storing, I like to divide the kimchi into glass container. Before I close the lid, I press a piece of plastic wrap down right on top of the kimchi. The reason is, once the kimchi starts to ferment in the fridge, it can get a little smelly, and the wrap helps keep that smell down so your whole fridge does not end up smelling like kimchi. Glass is also better than plastic containers because the red pepper will stain plastic and the smell will soak in. Take a little bit out, drizzle some sesame oil over it, sprinkle some sesame seeds on top, and eat it fresh just like that. So good. One more tip before we finish. Remember those thick outer leaves I trimmed off at the beginning? The tough ones with some damage on them? Don't throw those away. I am going to use them to make ugeoji. First, I wash them really well, at least 2 or 3 times, getting all the dirt out. If you spot any little stones or rough bits, trim those off. Then I cut the leaves into big pieces and blanch them in a pot of boiling water. No salt, just plain water. Don't just dump them in whole, cut them first. When you add the cabbage, the boil will die down for a minute, and once the water comes back up to a rolling boil, cover it and let it go for just 1 minute. That is all. 1 minute. Turn off the heat, drain it in a colander and let it cool. Once it is cool and the water has drained, portion it out and put it in the freezer. Then whenever you want to make 감자탕 or 우거지탕, or even a nice Western-style beef stew with some doenjang stirred in, you have your ugeoji ready to go. Just pull out a portion and add it in. So good. And that is it for today. Fresh kimchi ready to eat, plus a bonus batch of ugeoji for the freezer. Thank you so much for being here at Seoul Bites, and I will see you in the next one.